Now that the stage feature is live, I can share my own creations, which will start by giving most Mega Man Robot Masters a stage, because I liked how my Heat Man stage turned out. Some will be better than others. This is about finding a unique or notable portion of the stage, or basing it on elements or portions of their stage, and meshing it together. So sit back to seek inspiration for your own, or look for the stages you want to download. Yes, I will upload these along with the CD stage. Also, if we get song or custom stage DLC, expect updates to these stages shortly after. I felt this section was the most interesting for a potential Smash battle. As the original Mega Man had few hazards, it is a stage that relies on duality. The lower section is a good place to rack up damage, while the top is ideal for that finishing blow. The trick is luring your prey to a more open area so you can execute them, and your opponent needs to be a bit cocky so he can turn the tables on you. Definitely aim your smashes high or to the right. Though with high enough damage, even the surprise on the left will probably be useless. There really is not a good texture for his stage, and this is about the only part interesting enough for a stage. You've got a lot of different levels to fight from, and a small area that codes are harder to achieve. But also a pit to spike your opponents into. The stage is a little on the big side. I was a little confused about the scale for translating 8-bit blocks into Smash. The closest is a 2x2 area per NES block. It isn't too big though. Just turn on Super Mushrooms and turn off Poison Mushrooms. Or you can just leave it as it is. It is Quickman's Wonderland. I look for the most iconic section of a level that could be fun to smash on. This is easily the most iconic section of the entire first Mega Man, having been nodded to more than once. It may be tempting to hide below, but you can only go from above and the right. The latter may be your best bet, given how easy it is to damage and take damage. Just watch yourself. Also, just like the original, there is a fiery floor. This time it isn't just for decoration. The last of the original 6. In fact, I came back much later just because I thought of a way to do his stage justice. Even if it probably wouldn't be fun to play on. Of course, I had to bring in the annoying gap to cross. I included the drop-off points by including triangle blockades a la Rainbow Ride in Super Mario 64. If you twiddle your thumbs too long, the platform will leave you behind with only a double jump to save you. For that reason, fighting will likely always be on the upper platform and edges. I toyed with making these lava, but that made only approaching the leftmost triangles from the left deadly. Also, it is possible to stand on these triangles. This was the first Mega Man stage I translated, and the one that inspired me to try making more. I took many liberties with this and shifted things to make it play better. For example, the ceiling extends further right to make codes harder unless you venture above the lava. I deleted a platform to the left to have 2 with pillars, and I extended the lava to the left, because it is focal point and integral to the risk-reward dynamic of fighting on the platforms. The blocks are always present, and tend to favor characters with projectiles. I also added platforms that briefly pop out of the lava to help break bouncing and give an occasional escape from a burning to players who master the shield landing technique, as well as to raise items up. Fighting for any period on the platform will always end badly. Also, I even made a lava flow here. Oh, and Quickman's remix plays because it's actually a remix of both Quickman and Heat Man. Cool stuff. Like Heat Man, I mixed some of the big elements of his stage with a section of land. In this case, the somewhat unique midsection. I represented the Lightning Lord's clouds with a mess of moving platforms. It's too bad we can't have platforms arc or circle. Also, if you drop below, you might just be saved. You always wondered if it was safe behind the clouds. The main part of the stage is stingy with codes. It might be best for coin battles. Your best bet may be to bounce them from the lowest section into the code zone or launch them through the opening to the left, into the moving platforms, representing the falling platforms. I wouldn't suggest crossing the platforms unless there's an item you want. I didn't want to do an underwater section because I'd want water and water physics. You might have expected me to reference the platform rooms, but without complex paths, they would be lame. Instead, I referenced the fact to climb into space to the last stretch. Since ladders were removed from the stage builder, I had to have platforms take their place. There is a land below where bounce codes will come easier. Wouldn't you know, now that you can easily climb up there, there isn't an E-tank. Also beware, in the boss room is nothing but death. though you can brutally slaughter opponents in the hall. For me, this last section is the most memorable part of the stage. The mech Joes were terrifying, and the multiple paths really highlighted you chose the wrong path. Flashman didn't have many good areas to draw from either, unless you want to separate all the fighters. Since conveyors are also out, you just have to settle for terrain, and when you know, the E-Tank is gone again. I wish I could have put in lasers, but I can put in a couple screens from the laser section. You can still run through at high speed though. Most areas are good for racking up damage and culling. I kind of dropped the ball. The scale is all off, but it's where you meet Hot Dog in the room above. A very small stage, all things considered. I'm sure you could do better recreating it to scale. Maybe I will rescale it if I update it for new DLC.
And remember, share everywhere if you care.